In human history, many great empires have risen and fallen, and the Ottoman Empire is undoubtedly among the most iconic. Spanning 3 continents, it lasted over 600 years and produced more than 10 generations of brilliant rulers. Yet its beginnings were humble. It started merely as a tiny tribal state next to the Byzantine frontier. Through continuous warfare, it eventually became a mighty empire, a true testament to its resilience. So how did the Ottoman Empire rise to power and eventually fall? This video will give you a quick yet comprehensive look into that story. The Ottoman Empire was the predecessor of today's Turkey, and the Ottomans themselves were a branch of the Turkic peoples. Yes, the same Turks known from Tang dynasty times in China, the Ottomans trace their roots back to them. After being defeated by the Tang, these Turks migrated westwards into the Middle East. Over centuries, they established several states, including the powerful Seljuk Empire. At its peak, the Seljuk Empire was vast, but internal strife led to its fragmentation. One of the successor states in Anatolia, Asia Minor, was the Sultanate of Rum. The Ottomans originally emerged as a small tribal principality under the Sultanate of Rum. Their leader, Osman I, is recognized as their founding father. Both the name Ottoman and Ottoman Empire come from him. In the 13th century, the Mongol invasion swept across Asia, and the Sultanate of Rum was destroyed. In the power vacuum that followed, Anatolia split into many small principalities, one of which was Osman I's domain. Osman's real achievement was unifying his tribe and instilling a sense of nationhood. At first, he simply called himself Chief, a tribal leader. It was his son, Orhan, who truly transformed the Ottomans into a state. Orhan's opportunity came thanks to the decline of the Byzantine Empire. You might say, wait, the Byzantines didn't fall under Orhan. True, but hear me out. As the heir of the Roman Empire, Byzantium remained the dominant power in Eastern Europe and the Middle East for centuries. But over time, its strength waned. In 1204, the Crusaders, ironically Christian allies from Western Europe, sacked Constantinople. Although the Byzantines later reclaimed their capital, the empire never fully recovered. Its territory shrank dramatically, and internal power struggles worsened. One of the most notorious examples was John VI, who wasn't the rightful heir, but desperately wanted to be emperor. To seize power, he married his daughter to Orhan, inviting Ottoman troops into Europe to help him win the throne. This gamble paid off for John VI, but at a huge cost. The Ottomans gained a foothold in Europe, and Byzantine lands were lost to them. By that time, Byzantium was hardly an empire anymore, just a small local state centered on Constantinople. Under Orhan's leadership and thanks to Byzantine infighting, Ottoman lands expanded dramatically. Orhan also took the title of Sultan, marking the transition from tribal chiefdom to kingdom. The man who elevated the Ottomans into a true empire was Murad I, Orhan's son. In 1360, Murad became ruler and focused on consolidating power in the Balkans. After 10 years of war, the Ottomans firmly established themselves there, opening the path to further conquest. Beyond external opportunities, what made the Ottomans strong internally? Like all military empires, they had unique institutions. They developed a military fief system. The Sultan owned all the land, distributing it to knights who served in the army. These lands couldn't be bought, sold, or inherited, ensuring the Sultan's control. As the empire expanded, more land was granted, fueling the military's fighting spirit. Another strength was the Ottomans' inclusivity. As long as people submitted to the Sultan and served, he accepted them, regardless of ethnicity or religion. A prime example is the Janissary Corps. Elite soldiers recruited as boys from Christian families, converted to Islam, and trained to become loyal, deadly warriors. Though modern eyes see this as cruel, back then, joining the Janissaries meant security and status, often better than the harsh life most Christians faced under other powers like the Crusaders, who were infamous for brutality. In 1389, Murad I was assassinated in battle. His son, Bayezid I, succeeded him and quickly executed his brothers to avoid power struggles, starting a grim Ottoman tradition, later formalized under Mehmed II as the law of fratricide. Princes would fight for power, and the victor would execute all male siblings to secure the throne. Bayezid proved a formidable commander, crushing a European crusader army of over 100,000 at the Battle of Nicopolis in 1396, earning the nickname the Thunderbolt. But arrogance led him eastward, where he challenged Timur, Tamerlane, the Central Asian conqueror. Timur, angered by Bayezid's insults, invaded Anatolia. In 1402, at the Battle of Ankara, Timur decisively defeated the Ottomans. Bayezid was captured and died in captivity. Timur didn't destroy the Ottoman state. After a brief civil war among Bayezid's sons, Mehmed I reunified the empire. By the mid-15th century, Mehmed II, known as Mehmed the Conqueror, came to power. In 1453, at age 21, he finally captured Constantinople, ending the Byzantine Empire after 1,000 years. The city became Istanbul, the new Ottoman capital, marking a new era. Mehmed II continued conquering, and later rulers expanded even further. Suleiman I doubled the empire's size in 8 years and conquered the holy cities of Mecca and Medina, making the Sultan the Caliph, the leader of the Islamic world. In 1526, Suleiman the Magnificent ascended the throne at age 26, ruling for 46 years during the empire's golden age. Militarily, he expanded into Europe, the Middle East, and North Africa. Europeans called him the Great, or the Second Solomon, a sign of deep respect. Suleiman was also a legal reformer. He codified existing laws into a comprehensive system, refined the military fief system, known formally as the Timar system, and regulated the janissaries. Yet over time, the janissaries became powerful enough to threaten even the Sultan. Domestically, the Ottomans practiced religious tolerance through the millet system, granting non-Muslims autonomy in exchange for loyalty and taxes. This policy attracted many Jews fleeing persecution in Western Europe. By 1590, Istanbul housed 20,000 Jews. But after Suleiman's death in 1566, decline began. A key cause was succession. Suleiman had several talented sons, but palace intrigue led to the execution of his most capable Mustafa, leaving the throne to Selim II, a weak ruler more interested in pleasure than politics. From Selim II onward, Ottoman sultans gradually lost interest in leadership. The empire, built on constant expansion, stagnated when it could expand no further. Land concentration weakened the military system. Powerful landlords turned military lands into private property, undermining the sultan's control and squeezing peasants dry. The tax farming system, iltizam, made matters worse. Tax farmers extracted as much as possible, leading to widespread peasant flight and abandoned farmland. By the late 18th century, half of all arable land lay fallow. Meanwhile, Europe surged ahead during the Renaissance and Scientific Revolution, while the Ottomans lagged. Even Russia, once backward, modernized and defeated the Ottomans repeatedly, seizing territory and pushing them back. Reforms were attempted by rulers like Selim III, 1789, and Mahmud II, 1808, but these mostly tinkered at the edges without tackling systemic problems. Deeper reforms risked threatening the ruling class's privileges, so they were blocked or diluted. By the late 19th century, reform-minded groups like the Young Turks emerged, eventually overthrowing the Sultan's absolute power in 1909. But World War I sealed the empire's fate. Siding with Germany, they lost disastrously. Amid national crisis, Mustafa Kemal Ataturk rose to lead a nationalist revolution. In 1923, the Republic of Turkey was founded, ending the 623-year Ottoman Empire. A new era began. Yet, the memory of that grand empire lingers in Turkish hearts, a nostalgia that still shapes the country's dreams in a complex, modern Middle East.